A tale of gridlock and controversy, Interstate 5's temporary reopening. In a surprising turn of events, a 17-mile stretch of Interstate 5 was reopened, but the traffic situation remained chaotic due to an unusual military event at Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. This story is a roller coaster of unexpected twists and a perfect example of how a simple decision can have far-reaching consequences. Imagine this. As the clock struck noon, Assistant Police Chief John McKean of Oceanside shared the news that the California Highway Patrol had decided to reopen the freeway. However, he warned that there would be further delays as live-fire artillery rounds were about to be shot over the very same freeway during a military celebration. McKean assured drivers that while it might be loud, they wouldn't be in any physical danger from the explosives. The southbound 5 freeway came to a standstill, with drivers facing a challenging exit just half a mile ahead of the El Camino Real exit. The previous 3 exits had already been flashing warnings of the impending closure, but some brave or perhaps foolish souls ventured further, only to find themselves stuck for at least 30 minutes. But here's where it gets controversial. Interstate 5 was initially closed on Saturday after military officials confirmed that live-fire artillery rounds would be shot over the freeway. This unprecedented move by state officials sparked a chain of events, including Amtrak shutting down train service between Orange and San Diego counties during midday. Some desperate drivers even attempted to make illegal turns to break through the bottleneck, only to be stopped by a highway patrol officer. Governor Gavin Newsom criticized the White House for its lack of coordination and failure to share safety information ahead of the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary celebration, which was to be attended by Vice President J.D. Vance. Newsom accused the president of prioritizing his ego over public safety, stating, "Firing live rounds over a busy highway isn't just wrong, it's dangerous." McKean revealed that he had been in meetings with Camp Pendleton officials for the past month regarding the celebration. However, the decision to close the interstate came as a surprise, originating from Governor Newsom's office overnight. The city of Oceanside was notified of the closure at 7:30 a.m. via a California Highway Patrol update. McKean emphasized that the Marine Corps was not aware of the closure, and it was a decision made by Sacramento, Caltrans, and the CHP. And this is the part most people miss. McKean, who has lived in the Oceanside area since 1996, stated that this was the first time he could remember any training other than fires causing the closure of Interstate 5. He added that he had spent 20 years in the Marine Corps and had experienced artillery being shot over him numerous times, but he acknowledged that it could be a distraction for drivers. He believed Governor Newsom was taking an abundance of caution with this decision. Terry Gorman Brown, the city's spokesperson, emphasized that the closure would significantly increase travel time for anyone trying to get from San Diego to Los Angeles. The freeway closure occurred despite the Marine Corps and White House stating it was unnecessary. It also highlighted the deepening strain between California and the Trump administration, which had been escalating due to various actions, including the deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles to control protests, increased immigration raids, and pressure on California universities to comply with the president's agenda. The Marine Corps described Saturday's event as a historic amphibious capabilities demonstration, showcasing the Navy Marine Corps team's strength and unity and ensuring their readiness to defend the homeland and our nation's interests abroad. A spokesperson for the Marines stated that artillery was fired for Red Beach into designated ranges on Friday evening as part of a dress rehearsal, emphasizing that this was a safe and established practice. The governor's office was informed earlier in the week that the White House was considering closing the freeway. When no order was given by Wednesday, state officials began considering taking action themselves, citing safety concerns about reports of live ordnance being fired over the freeway and onto the base. Newsom's office was then told on Thursday that no live fire would go over the freeway, only to be informed on Friday that military event organizers requested a sign along I-5 reading "Overhead Fire in Progress." On Saturday morning, the state was informed that live rounds were scheduled to be shot over the freeway around 1:30 p.m. This prompted California Highway Patrol officials to recommend the freeway closure due to potential safety risks and the likelihood of distracting drivers. The military's show of force coincided with No Kings rallies and marches across the state, challenging President Trump and what critics described as government overreach. Dozens of protests were scheduled across Southern California, with over 2,700 demonstrations expected nationwide. So, what's your take on this situation? Is this a necessary safety measure or an overreaction? Share your thoughts in the comments below.